guys, it's your girl T, and I'm here for another recap of Real Housewives of Atlanta. So the show starts with Kandi talking to her producer Don Juan, and her and Don Juan are having a whole conversation. She's moved into her new studio, and once again, Kandi had to show us that same TLC plaque showing that she wrote the song Scrubs. It's like every season we got to see that she wrote the song Scrubs for TLC. So her new office is cute. She has all this bright pink cherry furniture, and she has a place to meet and hold her business meetings. So I'm proud of Kandi. Kandi's always handling her business. So she's meeting with Don Juan, and she's basically telling Don Juan the whole situation that went down with her and Mama Joyce, and how her feelings are still hurt, and how she feels like Mama Joyce is upset because she thinks like her lifestyle is going to change once she gets with Todd. And Don Juan surprised Kandi by basically saying that he has the same feelings as Mama Joyce. He feels like once Kandi gets married that Todd can stop his money flow. And he's like, well, what about my pockets? What about my bank account? I don't want Todd coming in here and changing up stuff. I need to get paid. And Kandi's looking like, well, damn, what's up with that? Why would I allow my husband or my future husband to interfere with my business? She's like, I've never been one to do that. I was pregnant with Riley up until I was 7 months, and I was still writing songs and doing what I had to do. So why would you think that something would change because I get married to Todd? And he's like, well, things happen. People get married. You become one. It's just kind of sad that people are looking at Kandi like a bank account. I think Kandi needs to kick everybody out of Kandi's bank and trust and have these people go find their own job. Especially her mama. She needs to go have Mama Joyce work at Walmart or something. Because I just think the fact that everybody's in Kandi's pocket is just ridiculous. They want to talk shit about Kandi tricking off on men, but it seems like these folks are more worried about Kandi tricking off on them than Kandi's happiness. So I feel bad for her. You could tell she was really, really hurt by that conversation. So after that, Kandi then decides to have a conversation with her daughter, Riley. And Riley done grew up so much before our eyes. She's 10 years old. She has all this bright red weave in her hair. And, Riley's sitting there. She's playing basketball with Kandi. And Kandi starts asking her, like, are you uncomfortable with Todd? Do you not like Todd? Mama Joyce is telling me this. And Riley's like, no, I never said that. It's just the fact that, you're going to have to do what makes you happy, Mommy. And if Grandma doesn't like you, that's on Grandma, but you have to live your life for you. Riley is being such an adult in this situation. And I think the worst part is the fact that Mama Joyce lied on her and made it seem like Riley was so uncomfortable with Todd, when really it's Mama Joyce who's uncomfortable. And for her to pin that on a child, I think is just all the way foul. And I was just so happy that Riley was able to speak her mind to her mom and let her mom know, like, regardless of the situation, I'm your daughter. I'm still going to be here for you. I just want you to be happy. So I felt like, Riley was just very, very mature, far beyond her years. And for Mama Joyce to lie on her was just whack as hell, and it makes me look at Mama Joyce totally different. So props to Riley for speaking to her mom and taking her mom's feelings into consideration and being mature about the whole situation, as opposed to letting her grandmother plant seeds in her head that are just unnecessary to plant. So now we go visit Miss Nene Leakes. And Miss Nene Leakes, she's just, I don't know, she's been kind of acting funny. She was acting real funny this week. I was just like, she just seems to have like a attitude or like a chip on her shoulder. She's upset because they're not renewing the new normal, and she's not working on Glee, and she's basically forced to stay in Atlanta, and she's basically not getting those Donald Trump checks that she was once getting. When, last season when she was screaming that she was rich, she was very rich. And now, that money has slowed down, and that's why people have to be humble, because God giveth and God can take it away. You just have to save your chips and just be happy for what you have, but you just never really showboat and be too braggy about it, because your income can change, and this is proof. She was used to living a certain lifestyle, and of course she can still live it because she's still making good money from Real Housewives of Atlanta, but I think she thought she was going to be like the next big thing in Hollywood, and now that she's kind of stuck in the A, it's kind of like depressing her. So she was trying to clean up the house, and she was getting upset because she's like, I don't clean. That this is almost, she was acting like it was just beneath her to clean. And Greg was like, you need to clean. You need to be a housewife, and I want you here with me. And Greg just seems like just really, really old and clingy, and he's annoying. Like at first, it seemed like when the show first started, he just seemed like real well-to-do. He just seemed to have like a real high self-esteem about himself. He just seemed like a lot classier when you think back to like a few years ago. Now he just seems like this old grandpa that's just following her around and hanging on her tits. It's like, it's like, just, sir, go over there. Like he serves no purpose on the show. He's just boring to me. So I hope Nene gets some type of role so she can get up out this slump. But she just seems like she just is really depressed, and she's just kind of upset that she's in Atlanta. So I don't know. Hopefully next week's episode we'll see a better, happier Nene. So now on to Phaedra and Apollo. Y'all, Now, we all know about the reality TV show curse, meaning that a lot of people who put their marriages on reality TV shows, they end up breaking up. It's happened to damn near everybody. It was really, really uncomfortable watching Phaedra and Apollo. I mean, the arguments, them going back and forth. So Phaedra decides to do a photo shoot because she wants to introduce the world to Mr. President. Y'all done told me on Twitter, I guess the baby name is Dylan, but Phaedra refuses to call him Dylan. She keeps calling him Mr. President as if his father is Barack Obama and not Apollo. So she's calling the baby Mr. President. She decides to have this photo shoot. Apollo knows nothing about the photo shoot. I don't know what Apollo was doing all day where he didn't see this, photo shoot, this whole photo gallery getting set up in his house. But supposedly he wasn't there and he walked in. He's like, well, you didn't tell me. And they go back into the back room. They start arguing. And everybody just listen to this. Her mom is there. The photographer is there. And it's just real uncomfortable. He's like going off on her and she's going off on him. And it just seems like there's just a lot of stress on their relationship, and this second baby definitely did not bring them together. It's almost like this baby is putting a lot more strain on their relationship, which is just kind of sad. So Apollo ends up getting dressed, and Phaedra's like, we're all wearing white because black people who wear white look like angels, and we just all look so beautiful. And Aiden is taking a picture with his brother, and it's such a cute picture. Then the baby starts throwing up, and Apollo steps right up, and he's wiping them off, and he's doing the right thing. And then the baby starts crying after a while. And Phaedra starts going off on her mom because her mom dumped out the milk. And she just seems like just really, really agitated this season. Maybe that's just because she just gave birth and maybe she's not feeling like herself. But she's getting on my damn nerves. He just seems bored with the whole situation. And it seems like whatever frustration she's going through, she's taking it out on Apollo. And I kind of feel bad for him. But their whole scene, their whole little setup, they need to go. They both got on my damn nerves this past week. So now on to Miss Cynthia Bailey. So Cynthia finally decides to go have surgery for her uterine fibroids. So she goes, and it's one of those surgeries where you're still awake. And Peter goes to try and support her, but he seems almost kind of agitated. And she asks Peter, are you scared? And he's like, yeah, I'm scared. And she's like, you might not want to say that because I'm having surgery. I'm already nervous. Why would you make me more nervous? Peter's just a damn trip. So the nurses asked her, did she shave? And Cynthia's like, well, no, I didn't know, I was supposed to shave. I thought you were just going to cut up here. I didn't know you was going to mess around down there. So it's just kind of like a funny interaction. So they end up prepping her. She ends up having the surgery. And a few scenes later, you can see Peter going in to take care of her. He's bringing her like, soup or something like that. And then he starts coming at her like, okay, well, when can you have sex? We haven't had sex in such a long time. So, what's up? And I'm sitting there like, this woman is in bed. She just had surgery yesterday, and you coming at her trying to get some? Pete, I'm going to need you to get your life. I swear Uncle Ben just be doing too damn much sometimes. I'm surprised Cynthia didn't knock him out like, boy, I'm sick. I'm trying to get my rest. Get the hell out my face. But Cynthia handled it like a G. She's always so classy and sweet. I can't even get mad at Cynthia because that's just her personality. But Peter is just too damn over the top for me. So now on to Miss Portia Stewart. So Portia has been going through a lot. As you guys know, she moved in with her mama. Her half-sister is always there. She has these 2 little dogs. And her mother is cleaning out the refrigerator. And as her mom is cleaning out the refrigerator, she's pulling out grits and mashed potato mixes. And I'm like, don't that belong in the cupboard? I didn't know people put mashed potato mix in the refrigerator. But, to each his own. So as her mom's cleaning out the refrigerator, they're talking, and she basically tells her mom that Cordell told her that she could not come back to the house for her stuff, that Cordell would have it packed up and delivered to her mother's house. And she starts calling him a queen and saying, he's such a queen, I can't believe he would do something like that. So then the doorbell rings, and the man comes, and he's like, where can I deliver this stuff? And her and her sister go up on the truck, and it's literally all her stuff boxed up. So they take it, so the man brings all this stuff into the house, and she's going through the boxes, she's going through her clothes, and she pulls out her wedding dress. And the bustier part of her wedding dress has been broken. It's like been destroyed. And she's saying that Cordell broke it, and he's a queen, and that's something that a queen would do. And for me, I'm getting tired of the whole trying to insinuate that this man is gay, but not really saying that he's gay. Because at the end of the day, you chose to marry him. So if you felt at any point in time that this man was gay, you shouldn't have married him. And for her to continuously insinuate that is really getting a bit much. Her mom, and her sister are starting to get on my damn nerves with the whole insinuations. Just either come out flat out with proof and say that he's gay, or shut the fuck up and keep it moving. But it's really, really irritating now, and it's making her look really, really childish. Even if he ripped up that bustier, even if he destroyed that doesn't make him a queen. She has no proof. She doesn't know if he destroyed it. It could have been somebody else who destroyed it, or it could just be part of the show. So later on in that scene, Kandi decides to pay her a visit. So Kandi comes and she's telling Kandi all about how, you know, Cordell destroyed her dress, and she starts crying and she's upset, and Kandi's, you know, trying to soothe her and comfort her, and Kandi's like, you know, Dan, you're just real upset, you know, did he used to put his hands on you? And I'm like, why would Kandi ask that? So Kandi asks is like, you know, like, did Cordell used to beat you up? Did he put his hands on you? And Porsha does this long dramatic pause. And then she says, no, he didn't. He shook me a bit, but he didn't beat me. So she paused to almost insinuate like she was getting her ass whooped by Cordell. Now, I, for one, I don't think domestic violence is funny, and it shouldn't be used for a script, because I know people who have been in domestic violence situations. I've had friends who gotten their ass whooped by their boyfriends and their husbands. So for her to insinuate that, if it's not true, that made me lose a lot of respect for her. You know, don't insinuate something if it's not true. Don't insinuate something for ratings, because there are a lot of women out here walking around with bruises, black eyes, broken ribs. I had a coworker of mine whose sister was killed at the age of 19 due to domestic violence. So I don't agree with her playing around with that. Either you got your ass whooped and you in a domestic abuse relationship, or you didn't. But don't sit here with the dramatic pauses if that's not what that man did to you. But that kind of pissed me off too. So then to make matters worse, they're still going through some boxes, and she finds a little sex toy that Kandi gave her. And she's looking for the little balls or whatever, and she can't find the little balls that come with the little Kegel balls. And she swears up and down that she never opened it. She never even used it, because why would she need that? She had her husband. So basically, once again, her and Kandi start laughing like, you think Cordell took him? He probably took him. You know what that means. Basically insinuating that this man done put the Kegel balls up his ass. It's like, really? Could you get more childish than that? You know, it's just, it's getting to be a bit much now. Between her calling him a queen, her saying that he stole her Kegel balls to stick him up his butt, and then her now insinuating that he beat her. I feel like Porsha is doing the most, and this episode just kind of irked me. You know, I feel like she's played this whole Cordell card now for the past 3 weeks. She needs to move on, because this storyline is starting to get a bit stale. It's starting to get a bit old, and I'm tired of hearing it. So last but not least, on to Kenya Moore, Miss I Have No Storyline. So I'm going to do is walk around the streets and walk around this big-ass house with my gay homeboy and twerk on everything. Her and her homeboy start twerking on the piano. They start twerking on the stove. They start twerking on the counter. They just start shaking their ass all over this woman Kanye's house. So Kanye wants Kenya Moore out by 3 p.m. Kenya, her cousin, and her friend are supposedly packing. I don't see these people packing up anything. The house looks basically empty to me. I don't see anything that these folks are packing. I just see them twerking. Well, Kanye ends up coming to the house, and she starts going off, and she calls the police. She tells the police that Kenya Moore was supposed to be at her house by 3 p.m. It was now 5 p.m., and how dare they still be on her property, and she wants the police out there right away. So the dispatch asks her, what does Kenya Moore look like? And she says, well, you know Kenya Moore. She's, you know, medium built. She's tall. She has a head full of weed, green contacts, and implants. I said, boy, oh boy, Kanye went off. When she said that line, I fell the hell out. She saved Kenya Moore a nice shady seat under a shady-ass oak tree, because there was a lot of shade in that damn comment. I was just like, wow, no, she didn't. So in the words of Kenya, don't come for me unless I send for you. You didn't have to send for her, Kenya. Kanye came for you, and that was the end of that one. So once Kanye was there, the police came, and they kindly escorted Kenya Moore off the premises, and we will tune in next week to see Kenya Moore living in some ratty-ass hotel room, still trying to act like she's about that fabulous life. So anyways, go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right, deuces.